Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Charles in Charge Cowboys Sports Report. Still have not got my game room set up yet to shoot videos like I was previously, but shoot one tonight. I know we don't play till Monday night. Tomorrow's Sunday. All the other games will be played tomorrow. So the Niners lost. That game is done. You take that game, you see for what it is, and you flush it down the toilet and you move on. I was as surprised as anybody for that game that went to go the way it did, because our previous two meetings were decided by a combined 13 points. A 6-point win by San Fran in 21 and a 7-point win last season. For them to beat us by 32 caught everybody off guard. Now this game against the Chargers Monday night, I'm going to say if we still have any shot at doing what we want to do this season, this game is a must-win going into the bye week. We cannot go into the bye week 3-3, losing back-to-back games for the first time since the 2021 season when we lost at Kansas City, and then 4 days later against the Raiders during Thanksgiving. That was without Cooper and without Lamb. LVE, as we know, is going to miss significant time. We signed Rashaan Evans, who was a pretty good run-stopping linebacker, very suspect in the pass. Had 159 tackles last season for Atlanta. Pretty much the best free agent linebacker that was out there. I believe, personally, Monday night we're going to come out and we're going to decimate the Chargers like we did the Giants, Jets, and Patriots. The Chargers aren't really a good team. Their defense is in the bottom of most categories. Their passing defense is ranked 28th, which is good for us. Pardon the cough, guys. I don't see Dan Quinn having his unit not prepared 2 weeks in a row. I think our defense will come out and dominate. I think our offense, having our starting 5 offensive linemen for the second game in a row, will be a huge plus. We should be able to get the run game going. And all we really got to do, I mean, whenever we play in Los Angeles, it's almost like a home game for us anyway. If we can get an early lead, early 7-point lead, 10-point lead, then you know the game's going to tilt in our favor. Kellen Moore's going to dial up the pass, and we're going to get after Justin Herbert. Kellen Moore's a good offensive coordinator. He's no Kyle Shanahan, who can scheme up with the best of them. We need this win, and I'll take a win any way I can get it. But we don't want a 24-21 type win. We want another dominant type win that we've had in our last 3 wins. We want to go to the Charger Stadium, which is a team that has talent, especially on the offensive side of the ball. Our defense wants to put on a performance to show they're not as bad as they looked Sunday night. Hold the Chargers to 17 or less. And our offense needs to score at least 4 offensive touchdowns. Which we can do that against this Chargers defense. If we can win the game 35-10, something like that, going into the bye week, 4-2, that is huge, so much bigger than going to the bye week 3-3 on a 2-game losing streak. And then with teams like Denver, and there'll be a few others that will be having fire sales. Denver has already declared theirs. we need to make one or two trades before the deadline to get back to where we want to be. One, I like Jalen Johnson, cornerback for the Bears in his 4th season. He's a good corner, pretty good lockdown guy. Being that, we've had the injury bug. I mean, the first week of practice in week 1, preparing for the Giants, we lose DeMar Overshawn for the whole season, who looked like he's going to be our best draft pick for this year. And then after week 2 on a Thursday practice, Diggs goes down with a torn ACL. Tyron Smith, Tyler Biadasz, Zach Martin have all missed time on the offensive line. I believe thoroughly that if our offensive line would have played against Arizona, we would have pulled it out. Or if at least Biadasz and Martin would have played, we would have pulled that game out. Being that we were in the red zone 4 times in the second half, only got 6 points. We got to take care of business Monday night against the Chargers. This team still has a talent to get where it needs to go, but we got to add on 1 or 2 more guys by the trade deadline. Jalen Johnson is a corner we can get for like a 2nd-round pick. I think he'd be worth it. Because we brought in Gilmore to be cornerback number 2, to cover the team's number 2 receiver, not to be corner number 1. And Deron Bland, as good as he is not ready to be corner number 1. Jalen Johnson could take that role of corner number 1 and taking, the other team's best receiver. Gilmore taking the team's 3rd receiver and Bland being back in the slot. I would like to trade for a corner and a defensive tackle. If not a defensive tackle, then maybe left tackle Garrett Bowles from Denver for offensive line depth. Because, Tyron Smith played last week. He'll play Monday night. He'll have a bye week. Should play against the Rams. But we need a good, solid left tackle to fill in whenever Tyron is not going to play. And Garrett Bowles would not mind getting out of Denver. I think he's 31 years old. He's a very serviceable left tackle. So even if we could get a good corner and a guy like Garrett Bowles by the trade deadline, I think that'd be big. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, guys, it's still my Galaxy and I. I'm trying to get to 500 subscribers first. Hit that red subscribe button if you haven't subscribed and you're watching, please. I cannot reach that without y'all's help, Cowboy Nation. It's free. It's a free investment on your part. Once I hit 1,000 subscribers, I'll be able to start putting back into this channel studio equipment, microphone, sound bites, a desktop just for this with film and graphics, all that. But the message is the season ain't over yet. And Mike McCarthy needs to second guess his play calling. I understand what he was trying to do, but Kellen Moore had this offense number 1 in 2021, number 4 last season. If Mike wanted for the play calling to be situational, he should have just kept Kellen Moore and just oversaw the play calling. And, in certain game situations, tell Kellen to call the game a certain way, just like against Green Bay and Jacksonville last year. Run the ball in the 4th quarter. Use the clock as your friend. Don't throw the ball 3 times in a row, go 3 and out, and have a drive last 15 seconds, giving the other team more time to come back. We brought in Brandon Cooks because of his speed. We're not pushing the ball downfield. We need to start pushing the ball downfield. Mike McCarthy has handcuffed Dak Prescott. Now, I've been Dak's biggest critic since 2019. 2016, 17, and 18. Dak was good. 2019, he started off 3-0 against bad teams and just, finished the season 8-8. And I've been his biggest critic since 2019. He had a great season 2021, coming off that broken leg. And he can still sing it with the best of them. He had 15 picks last season. We all know that was an aberration. Dak has never been that turnover prone. And he was coming off a broken thumb that screws and plates in it. And about half those picks were on the receivers. He needs to unhandcuff Dak Prescott and let him sling the ball around whenever he needs to. Because if not, these, 4 and 5 yard routes aren't going to get it done. Brandon Cooks, let the man fly. We have one deep ball thrown to him this season. That was that one against San Fran that was intercepted. Actually, two deep balls. The first one, we saw Cooks get behind the defense. Ball was thrown out of bounds. Unhandcuff Dak and let him do what he does. And if our offensive line can stay healthy like this, at least 4 of the 5 starters, and our left tackle, if we can get a Garrett Bowles or somebody like that on a cheap trade before the deadline as our backup left tackle, that'd be tremendous because we need to get a run game going. Rico Dowdle looks really good whenever he gets the ball. I don't see why he doesn't get the ball more. Tony Pollard can still be very effective with the starting offensive line that we have playing for the second game together now. The second game in a row. That's big because they can start to gel. That starting 5 has a lot of talent. 2 future Hall of Famers on there. Tyron Smith, even though he's Mr. Glass, when he's out there on the field playing, he's still one of the best left tackles in the game. Tyler Smith can play left guard or left tackle at a very high level. Very powerful lineman. Zach Martin is who he is. Bia Dash made the Pro Bowl last year, is on a contract year, and Terrence Steele. Every week is getting better, coming off that torn ACL that he had last season. Now I know we have Khalil Mack and Joey Bosa we're going up against as pass rushers for the Chargers. Khalil Mack has 6 sacks. He got all those sacks against the Raiders in one game. The other games, he didn't get to the quarterback. Chargers have the 28th ranked pass defense. We've seen Dak pass the ball well against a good defense, a good secondary. We saw him start off the game against the Jets, 13 of 13. That was his best start of his career. Completed his first 13 passes. That was against Sauce Gardner, DJ Reed, and company. A good secondary. Way better than the secondary that we're about to go up against. So I think we're going to go into LA. It's not going to be a Kellen Moore revenge game, just like it wasn't going to be an Ezekiel Elliott revenge game. I think we can handle the Chargers. They're a talented team, but they're not together. They're not. They lost their first 2 games, and they won their last 2 games. They're coming off their bye week. They barely beat Minnesota because Kirk Cousins did what Cousins does, and he threw a pick to end the game when he could have won the game for him on that last drive. And then they barely slide by the Raiders, who had a backup quarterback playing that game. So I think we could beat the Chargers and beat them down like we did the Giants, Jets, and Patriots. And then go into the bye week and get some things fixed and be ready to come out to play the Rams. And then hopefully be 5-2 after that. And be ready for our showdown against Philly. Good news is Cavante Turpin, who was diagnosed with a high ankle sprain, supposed to be out 4 to 6 weeks, was a full participant in practice on Friday and looked good, which is huge because he is our return man, dangerous return man at that, and he's getting better at receiver. He scored a lone touchdown against San Fran, and it was a very impressive play, very impressive catch. He had to adjust to the ball. That was an over-the-shoulder ball. And he's the sixth fastest player in the league. We need to give him the ball in space more. We need to scheme up our playmakers more. And speed kills in this league right now. And we got 3 speedsters on offense. We got Pollard, Cooks, and Turpin. We need to get those boys the ball in space. And we need to get the running game going consistently. Rico Dowdle could run the ball pretty damn well, man. He looks better than Malik Davis did last season. Him and Tony Pollard should be a pretty good 1-2 punch. And Hunter Lupiki, I don't know why he's not getting more touches. Whenever he does get touches, he looks pretty good. So, the season ain't over yet. It's only been 5 games. There's 12 games left to go. It's a long season. A lot of things can happen. We handled business Monday night against the Chargers. Go into the bye week, make the necessary changes that we need to make, and we need to make a trade or 2 before the deadline. I'm saying cornerback, defensive tackle, and or left tackle. Mozzie Smith needs to get more reps. Against the Patriots, when there's a blowout game, he had 17 snaps. In the second half, he should have got every snap in the second half. Because the game was over by halftime. So why did Mozzie Smith only have 17 snaps in that Patriot game? He should have had every snap in the second half. Every rep is important to that first round pick. This is the first time since 2019 that our draft class has not had like 4 or 5 impact players in year 1 like we had last year. Last year we had 4 or 5 rookies that were instant impact players, as the year before that and the year before that. So that's my thoughts about the Georgia game. I'm very confident about it. We are favored on the road. We opened up at 2.5-point favorites. Usually the home team gets 3 points off the cuff because they're at home. So if we're on the road and we're favored by 2.5, Vegas sees us as a 5.5-point, spread basically. But it's 2.5. Handle business against Chargers. Going to the bye week. Straighten up some things. Mike McCarthy, take the handcuffs off Prescott. Don't be afraid of him throwing 15 picks again, because he's not. He threw 3 against San Fran. We know this. That was after the game was over with. The game was long done before he threw that first pick. And so basically Dak was just throwing desperate balls. That's all that was. Let him get it to his playmakers. CeeDee Lamb has had 4 targets in the last 3 games. Or 4 catches. That's ridiculous. The Jets game was the only game where he had like 10 catches, $150. Get that man the ball. He had 103 catches last season. The 3rd player in our franchise history to have over 100 catches. Only the playmaker and Jason Witten have done that, and they only did that 1 time. That tells you how special CeeDee Lamb can be. Michael Gallup isn't getting that much separation. He's looking better than he did last season. That's when Brandon Cooks comes in to play. And Jerry Jones is telling, McCarthy and Dak to feed Gallup the ball. If he's not open, we should not do that. Jake Ferguson is 10th right now in the league amongst tight ends and receptions. We need to get him the ball because he is excellent with yards after the catch. And Jalen Tolbert is looking pretty good this season. Get him the ball. Our offense has tons of playmakers. There's no reason why it should be stagnant. And it really hasn't been besides the Niners game. Before the Niners game, we were number 1 in red zone trips. That means we were moving the ball in between the 20s with impunity. We were just stalling in the red zone. So, don't give up hope yet, Cowboy Nation. I was expecting to be at least 4-1, going into the Charger game. But 3-2 is what it is. We go into the bye week 4-2. We'll be all right. This team still has a ton of talent. Still miss Diggs. I think Diggs would have been the best cornerback in the league this season. But he is injured, and great teams overcome that. Like I said, in 95, whenever we signed Prime, he wasn't ready till week 8. We had all-pro cornerback Kevin Smith, who tore his ACL in week 1 against the Giants. And we overcame that because we had depth and perseverance. And that's what this team needs to have. We'll see what happens with the games tomorrow. I know Philly has the Jets. The Jets sometimes can surprise you. Hopefully they do and give us a early present. And San Fran is playing with Cleveland, I think. I don't think Deshaun Watson's going to play. That could be a massacre. San Fran looks pretty damn good right now. But it's only been 5 games. A lot can happen from now until January. So that's it for right now. That's just my thoughts about where we're at right now in our game Monday night. Please subscribe, like, and share, guys. Every subscriber counts. I guarantee you, I'll have a call online also. When I hit 1,000 subscribers, guys, this channel will become a jewel that you will look forward to watch. But I can't get there without y'all's help. And the Cash App name will be in the chat. Like I said, top 3 donators of the season. First place to get playoff tickets, 50-yard line, medium deck. Second place, 2 jerseys of your choice. Third place, Emmitt Smith, Rookie of the Year card, possibly autographed by that time. I've seen smaller content creators just have their Cash App name on the bottom of the screen. I can't edit like that yet. So I just put it in the chat. So if you do donate, let me know it was you and how much so I can keep a log throughout the season. After week 18 at the Commanders, I'll announce, first, second, and third place and give said prizes to said winners. That's it for this episode, guys. I'll catch y'all tomorrow night for one more pregame video before the Charger game, and then I'll see y'all after the Charger game. Y'all have a good weekend, guys. Charles and Chargers out.